Today we thought we'd try and settle an argument. Which is better, road
or off-road?
I mean, why get muddy when you don't have to? You've got a smooth surface that's already prepared for you.
But come on, you can't beat the adrenaline of going into the countryside, going off the beaten track and adventuring over constantly changing terrain.
Hang on, I mean, what about sticking to your route that you've got planned, running at the pace that you're supposed to? I mean, the roads are always going to be the same surface, no matter what the weather is doing.
Really? But that is part of the joy of venturing off-road, Heather. You're constantly challenging yourself mentally and physically, as well as sort of naturally improving your strength and resilience.
Okay, we're not getting very far here, are we? So I think it's probably time we went to prove our respective points.
Right then, running off-road, the types of surfaces can change quite dramatically. And in this video, I'm including any terrain that isn't smooth asphalt or tartan. But let's start by really discussing the shock absorption side of things, because on the whole, grass, trails, sand, etc. are really a lot more forgiving than running on the road. So for every stride that you take, you'll feel a lot less impact and shock through the joints. So if you're someone that's coming back from a running relating injury such as shin splints, then this is going to be a much more preferable terrain. And obviously, as the surfaces become softer, such as for mud or sand, then those benefits are going to be enhanced even more.
Doing all of your running off-road on soft, muddy, grassy surfaces might well alleviate any problems during training, but if your legs aren't conditioned or used to running on a harder surface, you could well find yourself in trouble in the latter stages of a race or even afterwards. So if you know that you've got a race coming up that's going to be on the road, you need to start to incorporate this type of surface into your training so your legs can adapt.
Hey yo, wake up, different day, same style, same attitude, same type of dude, same smile.
One thing you get with road running is consistency. You know that the surface is smooth, you know what type of shoes you'll need, and it's also much easier to maintain your pace. So for example, relevant of what the weather is doing, if you come back to the same stretch of road to repeat a session, you should still be able to hold the same pace for the same effort each time.
Yep. But with off-road...
Hang on a minute, I'm on a roll here. You're far less likely to take a tumble or go over on your ankle, just obviously be careful of the curb. But it is worth being aware that some roads will have a camber to help with water runoff. And if you're doing long runs or long miles on a slight angle, then you might start to feel it a little bit in your body, and just worth being careful to make sure you don't get injured.
But uneven surfaces aren't always a bad thing. They actually really help to recruit some of those lower leg muscles that help to stabilize the knee, the ankle, and even the foot. And you may have heard of people talking about proprioception before, and these are essentially these proprioceptive muscles that work around the foot and the ankle area and essentially make micro adjustments, which off-road running is great for. Whereas running on the road, it's quite flat and it's quite easy for these muscles to just begin to switch off. So if you are venturing off-road, then it is also worth maybe considering some exercises. You can do an inversion or eversion of the ankle, which I quite often prescribe to athletes, particularly if they know that they have quite weak ankles. So if that is you, perhaps work on these exercises in the gym before you start venturing off-road, and considering some specific off-road shoes that maybe have a little bit more support as well.
Road running can just be that bit easier, especially if you're doing several runs a week. Not just because it's a smoother, faster surface and it helps you feel good, but also for route planning. Now, pretty much anywhere you're running on the road, you can use a road map or even an app on your phone to find where you're going. But when it comes to off-road, it's harder to find routes, and you might not know what the footing's going to be like or even where the paths are going to come out and if they're going to meet. And if you do get lost when you're running on the roads, you're probably going to find some people that you can ask, and if you're lucky, maybe even a taxi or a bus to help you get home.
I hear what you're saying, Heather, but you can't deny that there's something pretty cool and exciting about heading off-road, discovering new trails, and just running for the fun of running. I mean, I love heading out for a long, steady run and just getting lost, experimenting, and it's incredible how quickly time flies by. Now, I don't know the exact science, but there's definitely a feel-good factor behind heading off-road and giving yourself that mental break from being away from the busy roads and just absorbing the nature around you. It really is quite refreshing. So why not try this for one of your next recovery runs? Just head off-road and give your mind and body a little break. Breathe in that fresh air and feel the benefit. I mean, there is nothing worse than doing some hard intervals, trying to get your breath back and just inhaling all those fumes, bad fumes from rush hour traffic. And also by avoiding all these cars and lorries, you're also limiting the chances of any collisions, which is particularly useful if you're someone that likes to run listening to music.
Although I'd argue that running on the road, or at least the pavement, can actually be safer, especially if you're training at night. Now, many pedestrian routes are well lit, so you don't need to worry about a head torch to see your footing. And if it is well lit, then it generally tends to be a little bit safer. And with this in mind, you can repeat the session irrelevant of the time of day and even the weather. As if it's been raining, you're not going to have to worry about boggy, slippery conditions. And even if it's icy, you'll find at least the main road routes should be gritted.
Well, sticking with the weather, what happens when it's lashing it down with rain or blowing a gale? I mean, you're probably going to want to find some shelter, which, to be fair, you can probably do on the road behind the odd building here or there. But when you're running off-road, you can quite often find natural shelter, maybe beneath the canopy of the trees in a dense woodland area where you'll be blissfully unaware of the worst of the wind or rain.
It's my life, my definition. Hey yo, I move with a different vision. Here's my petition. Wisdom, wealth, virtue, that's the main mission. Don't feed, teach everyone to start fishing.
It's just going to have to be a truce, I think. As you can see, there are obviously training benefits to both on-road and off-road.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not worried about the pace that you're running at, rather your perceived effort, then actually running off-road is great. If you take sand, for example, you're going to naturally be working a lot harder in it, but then when you come back to a harder surface like the road, then you're automatically going to feel a lot better.
Yeah, well, there is no black and white rule as to which surface you run on, and both Mark and I mix it up. We tend to do our long, steady runs on a soft off-road surface, and then quite often we'll do our faster runs on a hard surface, a road track, or sometimes even a treadmill. Now, if you do currently purely run on one type of surface and you want to mix it up, just make sure you do gradually so your body has time to adapt.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you guys as to which one is your preference and why. So as always, do let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, if you like this video today, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more from GTN, just click on the globe and subscribe.
And if you want to see some tips on how to run a sub 4-hour marathon, you can find that one just here.
And if you'd like to see our 4 run speed workouts video, then just click down here.